Power systems. Fictional characters do fictional things, and people spend hours debating who's the strongest. But on a real note, as someone who has enjoyed both anime and manga for years, power systems in anime, I'll just use anime to refer to both anime and manga, so if I say anime, I'm talking about both. Power systems are some of the best things ever invented. From the greats of Dragon Ball and Super Saiyan, to the beautifully crafted Nen system of Hunter x Hunter, power systems are often the defining trait of a series. While an anime like JoJo's will always be iconic and will probably be referenced to the end of time, would it be nearly as much of a masterpiece as it is without stands? Would people even talk about Bleach if it wasn't for the Bankai? Or women? Probably the women actually. I don't remember half of the sword names, but their Yuichi pose will be engraved in my tombstone. A power system can make or break a series. Oftentimes, the artists and creators will spend countless hours adapting and fitting their power systems into the plot. Most of the best-selling shonen animes, anime as a substitute for manga again, have power systems directly tied to the story itself, and the story would be nothing without it. I mean, just try to imagine One Piece without devil fruits, or Baki without whatever the hell they were smoking in there. And while there are plenty of anime without power systems, anime that just coexist, or for the most part, normal people in normal worlds, but those anime are boring. I don't give a fuck about, the power of friendship, some sports anime with straight up impossible feats, and girls? Girls? I don't want to see girls. I want to see men. I want to see big, buff, strong, tough, resilient men just going at it non-stop in the boxing ring. That's why I watch Ippo. One of my favorite personal shows, anime, manga, movie, AO3, porn, however you slice it, one of my favorites is none other than JJK. In a world with chi, chakra, nen, a world with swords like Bleach, Demon Slayer, Black Clover, Attack on Titan. I meant Attack on Titan, we don't talk about Black Clover. They all have swords. There's a lot of great ideas and thoughts that can be found in shonen animes like big sword slashes, eyeball fuckery, big ball of energy classes, which go hard every time. But have you ever just thought, what if, I don't know, I put you in a room, like Time Out. Yeah, that shit Itachi did, I made a whole series about it. Now, most series are about big, flashy VFX and long, drawn-out battles where the main character is pretty much bound to win. I mean, someone remind me, when was the first time we saw Naruto, actually lose? What was it? Pain? And he won that at the end of the day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Naruto, one of my all-time favorite animes. Shit was my childhood. But that junk was rigged as fuck. JJK? But if you see this and you've never watched JJK, you know the characters don't get attached to any of them. Matter of fact, unless they're the main character, they don't exist. Even the main character is not safe. But enough about that. JJK has cursed energy, black flashes, cursed techniques. Yeah, don't care. We're here for one thing. Domain expansions. Infinite void. Embodiment of perfection. Perfect. But all of those are just fodder. We're here for one thing and one thing only. And it rhymes with malevolent wine. That's right. I don't def gamble. What y'all know about Hikari? But bro, I gotta sit down for this one. The first time I saw Malevolent Shrine, there's a certain point within a series, not just anime, but anything really. A point when watching or reading a show when you realize you've fallen in love. Whether it's a character, a scene, maybe a moment that made you cry. This was my moment. Gay. Hear me when I say this, you beautiful man. They can never make me hate you. You and your beautiful one-eyed cat thing. Shit. Call me Shane Dot. What's this video about? Oh yeah. Power systems. Power systems are cool. But could you imagine them together? Power scalers be damned. I need a Titan Shifter versus a Susanoo, head to head. Actually, how about just a Titan Shifter and a Susanoo? I think Titan Shifter versus Susanoo is kind of overpowered. Imagine the Warhammer Titan on a Broly boost. Yeah, them Uchikers can just do that. Maybe Danzo was onto something. Hashtag make Konoha great again. But that's not what this is about. Much like Kishimoto with Naruto, as an author, when it comes to creating original content and ideas, even the best in the game take a little bit of inspiration from time to time. If you know anything about Yu Yu Hakusho, Kishimoto took that and put it through ChatGPT. like a student when the essays due at 11:59. But without it, we wouldn't have one of the greatest series of all time. If you forget about all these, but that's not important. As someone who likes writing myself, I often use some of my favorite power systems as inspiration. And by inspiration, I mean I use ChatGPT. It's 11:49. I don't have time. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Dodgeball, a classic PE game of merit and pain, mixed with JJK. I bring you Danji. Danji is the Korean word for dodge. Okay, it sounded cool. Okay, domain expansions are one of the key elements of JJK. At least to someone who's never read JJK. I mean, compared to everything, they're barely used, but whatever. But my only grievance with the amazing show that is JJK, besides the ending, #Jover, is the fact that early on, the concept of curse energy is brought up a lot. And they mention that only curse energy users can see curse energy. This includes cursed spirits, and of course, it's the topic of this video, domain expansions. Despite this, the only time we see domain expansions and people without curse energy clash are Gojo in the train station, amazing scene, but all we got was a little screen saying, oh, people got put in a coma, it's whatever, we don't care about them, and Toji with Squidward. Again, another amazing scene, but come on, what are we doing? At least to my knowledge, the only actual domain expansion, which I don't even know if it was a domain expansion, against non-cursed energy users is Jogo in the cafe scene. That is, to my knowledge, the only actual example. And that shit was terrifying. People were just randomly bursting into flames, one by one. The pure and fear terror was unmatched. And they never brought it up again. That one little scene is what got me so interested in this idea. Everybody likes to see domain clashes, and I see why, they're amazing, but what about this? A fight between a domain expansion user and someone like Toji. That would be amazing, and I thought we were going to get that. Except, all of a sudden, Toji has the ability to see curse energy, so now it's just a normal fight. Again, amazing fight, but that's it. Imagine the ideas and concepts that would have been formed if Toji was blind, fighting against shit he can't even see, like shadowboxing to the extreme. That would have been so impressive, but we never see it. That's where my idea comes in. Dodgeball, but with domain expansions. So picture it. In this fictional world, there's two types of people. Conquerors, people born with the ability to see and use domain expansions. Domain expansions is pretty on the nose, so we'll just call it Takeover. It's 2K now, Takeover. We want to change it up a little bit. And then there's the non-conquerors, normal people, kind of like yourself. People with domain expansions, also known as takeovers, and normal people. Both playing dodgeball, teams of two, hit the opponent, don't get hit, you win. Pretty basic. Now, you might be asking yourself, let me get this straight. You got people like Gojo, Sukuna, people with domain expansions against regular people with a 9-to-5? Yes, I do. But, it's not as unfair as you think. Just hear me out. Let me cook. Let's use an example. I feel like it illustrates my point more. First things first, close your eyes. Now, imagine you're in a blank white square room. Imagine there's a blank canvas inside of that room. You see exactly that, a white room and a blank canvas. But if you were born a conqueror, you would see a painted canvas. But the paint would be running off the canvas, covering the whole room. That's the difference. And I guess if you're the one casting the takeover, then you're the one with the brush. I haven't really got that far. However you want to imagine it. Now, imagine a dodgeball match. Two teams, one with a conqueror and one with a non-conqueror, versus a team with only one conqueror. His teammate was sick. I don't know. The team with one conqueror uses his takeover. Takeover. Overgrown jungle. The name doesn't matter. Bam. The two-man team sees very different things. The conqueror sees a giant forest surround him. A dense fog crawls over. Imagine someone airdropped you headfirst in the Amazon jungle. That's him, like an acid trip, but more trees. He's completely lost. This would be the average sorcerer if we put it back to JJK terms. What about the non-conqueror? Names in progress just well fit. What does he see? Exactly. Nothing. While his teammate is fighting his way through dense fog and bountiful trees, his teammate just sees him looking around, lost. Now, add in a dodgeball aspect, and there you go. Now, instead of two people with domain expansions clashing, it's one person with no domain expansion having to guide his teammate through a domain expansion without being able to see anything. Like a blind man teaching someone how to drive through an average Michigan road, all while dodging balls. Pause. Coming in at full speed. While I love to see the plenty of amazing fights and action JJK had, just one episode. Maybe a cursed spirit that has a blinding domain expansion and a random passerby who has to explain to Yuji. Oh my god, I just realized Yuji and the dude from Yu-Gi-Oh! Have the same name. How did I just not realize that? Imagine having to explain to Yuji where he was. Of course, there's the problem that the passerby wouldn't be able to see the domain expansion or the cursed spirit, but the thought is still there. It's like gliding a blindfold person through a minefield, or a Minecraft YouTuber through a preschool. Same scenario if you think about it. A bunch of series have power systems that ordinary people can't see, Bleach being another example. But I feel like a show where the difference between power system users and non-users would be sick, and I wish we saw more of it. But until that series comes out, I'm stuck. At least I have my little sister can't possibly be this